If you're not prioritizing yourself, how do you expect someone else to do that? What happens is that a lot of you girlies want somebody who is there for them, who actually likes them, who cherishes them, who adores them, who praises the ground that they walk on. And then they're not actually prioritizing themselves and not cherishing their own energy. What is this about? Let's stop this game, okay? I'm going to be getting ready because I need to leave soon-ish. And in the meantime, we're going to be talking about why you keep doing the same shit over and over again and attracting the same type of man who doesn't actually care enough about you and doesn't put in the effort. Okay? So my question to you is, if you don't even like yourself that much, how is someone else going to like you that much? Because the thing is, you're seeing the girlies that are getting treated amazingly and that are in healthy relationships and that get what they like, get what they want. And you're sitting there wondering, like, what on earth am I doing wrong? Why is this the same situation over and over again for me, where I'm just not getting the treatment that I want? Okay. My question to you today is, are you giving yourself the treatment that you want? That is question number one. Question number two, how are you prioritizing yourself? Question number three, I guess, would be like, where are your boundaries? Because if you do not have boundaries, this is a red flag, okay? This is a walking red flag right here. For example, this girlie over here did not have fucking boundaries. Oh my goodness, absolutely zero, okay? I would literally say yes to hanging out, like, yes, let's do that. Last minute plans, all of this kind of shenanigans. Where does that even come from? Last minute plans, like you've got a schedule, okay? You have a busy life, and if you don't, get busy and get yourself sorted. Honestly, I'm not doing this in the mirror, so my hair is gonna turn out how it's gonna turn out, and I don't even care. I'm just like, yeah, let's go for it. So my question is like, what is it that's going on in your life that you can say yes to last minute plans and bare minimum? What's going on? So, but the main question, coming back to the main question, like, what is it? What space are you in right now that's allowing you to accept the bare minimum? Because that's not okay. And clearly, if you're watching this, there's a reason. Okay, you're not watching this just for the sake of it. You're watching this because you saw the headline and you're like, let me get this sorted, you know? So the question is like, what space are you in your life to be allowing the bare minimum or less? Like below average. What is this about? Okay? So think about like how am I in my life putting myself first? How am I not allowing the treatment that I don't want? Because at the end of the day, if you don't like yourself that much, if you don't care enough about your routines, if you don't care enough about where you're going in life and your goals and like how you want to feel, how you want to be next year, how you want to be overall, how you want to take care of your mindset, your health, everything, your energy, how do you protect your energy? Okay, when people see that, God, you get, if you respect yourself. And when people see that, like people see like, oh, you say no to things because like you value your time and your energy. You say no to things that don't align with you because you value yourself. Do you realize how powerful that is? Like it's so powerful because you are not just speaking bullshit. You're not just saying like, I'm super valuable, don't do this to me, and then accept it anyway. That is a load of shit. Okay, like what you want to be doing is showing up as that boundary, as that person who cares enough about herself to be respecting the boundaries that she has put in place. Okay, so if you do not even respect your boundaries, if you let yourself down all the time, oh God, this is going to be an interesting hair day. I do, yeah, that's okay. If you do not even respect yourself, and if you do not if you let yourself down because you say like, okay, my aim is to work out because I actually care about my health and my well-being, and I want, like, this is one of my objectives, to feel well, to feel strong, and you let yourself down over and over, of course you're not respecting your boundaries, like what you set for yourself, your future self. You're not respecting her. So if you're not respecting her, you're not respecting your time and your space, then how is someone else going to? And this is why a lot of like the relationship stuff, the dating stuff that you ask, all of this, like, but how do I get someone like this? See how you are showing up. See what you are embodying. If you're not embodying self-love and you don't care enough about yourself, you're not going to attract somebody, or it is very rare that you're going to attract someone who worships the ground that you walk on, or that cares enough to put in the energy and the effort into you. Why? Because you're not pouring into yourself. You're not telling the universe or whatever you believe in, you're not telling your brain that I am valuable, even though you are. You're not telling yourself that you're worthy of divine love, of the energy, of the effort. Why? Because you don't give the energy and the effort to yourself. So how can you change that from today onwards? How can you change that from this week onwards? What is it that your higher self is calling you to do to show up as her, to show up as the woman who respects herself enough, okay, who respects herself enough to give herself the treatment that she wants? How are you respecting yourself more than enough and treating yourself that way? What can you do to walk towards her? What guidance is she giving you today? For example, now this might be an extreme example for some people, but I don't care. Sometimes I'm extreme and it is what it is. So one of the examples, okay, you know what? If our girl is not looking at the mirror, we move. This is fine. For example, okay, I have this thing where I think we all know that social media can be very distracting. Social media can be very distracting. Instagram can be very distracting. TikTok, I don't even go on it, so it's great. Thank God for that. Instagram, I have this rule that I set myself about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and it is amazing. And I always like do these things with myself. So I actually deleted the app. Okay, this is a self-respect thing. I'm like, I value my time and energy, so this is me embodying that. Let's do this. So I did this thing and I was like, okay, I delete my Instagram app because I value my time and I'm not allowing any distractions unless I choose to. Because if it's taking your energy and time, you remove it, okay? And I download it when I actually actively choose to, not mindlessly like go into it and scrolling and like checking messages and reels and all of this, like, and da da da. No. When I actively choose to go on Instagram, I download the app. So that extra effort literally is like a block. It's like, okay, I have to actively download this fucking app and actually decide that I'm spending so and so time of my precious time on this earth on that app to do such and such. Do you see? Also, my assistant does like the rest of the things that I want her to do, so I'm not doing them and I'm not going on the app and wasting my time. Not wasting, but like spending too much time. This is a self-respect. This is a boundary. This is a practice that I have chosen to do because my time is valuable. What am I doing to value it? What am I doing to actually embody that? So that means that, yeah, I'm respecting my time. So then it's like, how are you embodying the self-respect? Like, it's like, oh, I don't have time to do this. Do you not? Like, you showing up as that version of you that like doesn't waste time on certain things. What does it entail? What are you doing? How are you showing up? Okay, so that's something important that you need to actually check in with yourself about. Because otherwise, like you say, like, I want someone to treat me like this, that, and the other. But yet you keep letting yourself down with things that you wish you could do, or wish, like, things that like you promise yourself and you're not doing. So that's not fair on you, is it? Like, it's really not. It's like, ask yourself, like, what am I doing? to be the person that I actually really want to become. Because it's not just about like setting a vision board and saying like, I want this relationship, I want this job, and I want this career. What are you doing? Like you can wish upon the stars, and of course the like everything will work out in your favor, I'm sure, but you gotta show up as her as well. Like you gotta show up as the person who has all those things. Like the person who has a loving, healthy relationship, like I'm pretty sure she treats herself amazingly. I can assure you that when I treated myself like crap and I didn't care about like the food that was going into my body, the health, the everything, the mindset, the literally protecting my energy. Like it's like, no, this person doesn't get to be here. This person doesn't make me feel good. No, and like being very, very picky, selective about the energy that I'm around. That is that is literally you protecting yourself. Like really embodying the boundaries, embodying the standards. Standards is such an underrated word, I swear to God. And like, I think as we see standards as something very, very different, I think, depending on like where you come from and things like that. Standards, like you can see this as like, I expect them to like take me here and then and bring me on travels. And that's not the only standard that exists. Each to their own. You can embody whatever you want and you can ask for whatever you want. Like the world is your oyster, do whatever you want. But to me, standards isn't just about the things, isn't just about whatever. Standards is like, how do I choose my friend? Like, how do I select my friends? What standard do I have for my friends? So for me, for example, it would be like, well, I of course expect them to show up as a friend. Like that means, of course, like meeting up every now and then. No, 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 no. You have certain standards for the way that you show up for your friends, or like the way that you wouldn't allow a friend to treat you like shit. Why wouldn't you have standards for a man that you're interested in? What is different? What is lacking? You wouldn't allow a coworker to treat you like shit or like just be rude to you or something. So why allow a man to be like that? Like what is going on? You know, like I have questions. I have a lot of questions. So really check in with yourself, girl. Like what is going on? Fucking hell. That was like super Irish. I'm not sorry. So that would be my suggestion and advice. And I think it all comes down to like, you know, sometimes it's okay if you slack off sometimes and you're like, oh God, like I allowed this type of treatment again. Like, why did I do that? What's happening? It's okay to have fallbacks, okay? It's okay to realize that you've allowed a certain amount of whatever, a certain amount of BS for some time, but you need to come back to reality and connect with that future version of you that like actually has it all. And it's like, wait, what is she doing? Ask her for guidance. Ask her for guidance. Like even like I don't even ask out loud. I just like stop and think whether it's in the morning, afternoon, it could be nighttime. I don't have any set routines. I don't have any like particular structure. I just do and I just am. I just show up whenever that is. And I think to myself, like, I'm like, okay, like, what's going on here? What is not in alignment here? What is draining my energy? What is giving me energy? What is filling my cup? What is draining it? Like, what is emptying it? And if you realize that certain people or a certain man is making you feel less than, then you gotta go do something to make you feel more than. You gotta actually do something about that. You gotta act on that. You got to write down your statement. From now on, I don't put up with. From now on, I don't accept. Because you need to realize that it's you who's accepting, whether it's bare minimum treatment, whether it's whatever it is, you need to realize that it's you allowing that in. So stop allowing things in that do not serve you, that do not value you, that do not deserve you. Like, simple as. I know it's simple. Of course, it's easier said than done, but like, get on it. You gotta start sooner rather than later, right? Let's see what this gloss is like. I say that as if I actually changed the gloss. I wear every fucking day. The most basic makeup girly. So that would be my suggestion. Many suggestions, in fact. But I guess like it all comes down to like if you don't like yourself, why would a man like you? Why would he put you first? Why would he listen to that manifestation list that you have of like this man needs to treat me like this, that, and the other? Okay, how are you treating yourself? What's happening? Are you nourishing yourself energetically, physically, mentally, like everything? Are you filling your soul with what you want in life? Because if you're not, again, I have questions. Okay. And that's okay. I have compassion. Why? Because I actually used to be like that myself. That's why I'm here. Hello. Welcome to my channel. And I just would not do it to myself one more time. I'll tell you this. Wouldn't, couldn't, don't want to, not interested. Um, so ask yourself that, like, where am I putting up with shit from myself and from others? And that's pretty much it. Aside from that, I think it's also like, do not, one thing I would say is like, don't show up on like dates and stuff, like just like being super bossy or like in your masculine energy of like, this is what I bring to the table, or like, this is what I expect from la 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 la. Stop it. Stop being so mouthy. Like, yes, you can say certain things that you expect, but this energy that I see actually quite a bit on Instagram for some reason, I think I saw like a few reels and I was like, what the fuck? Like an interview, sorry, a date is not an interview. Remember this? It's not. You can't be doing that. It's weird. And men do this as well. I had a male friend that said that basically like interviews women. I'm like, stop. It's a date. Stop it. You can do it to a certain degree. Jesus Christ. Like ask questions from like a soft freaking energy. So like when you show up on dates, okay, you don't show up as like, I'm gonna take over, I'm gonna control the situation. It needs to be this type of structure. Stop it. You need to allow for a certain amount of flexibility and a certain amount of play. It's a date. Goodness gracious. Stop that. I think this is one key word here as well, control. Like you need to stop controlling or trying to control everything in your life. And men, I know you love to control men and what happens and the outcomes and how they treat you and no, 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 no. Let go. Okay, because it is exhausting you, it is draining your energy, and that energy is immaculate. That energy is actually your superpower. Your feminine energy is your superpower. Naturally, we all need to be balanced in like our feminine and masculine energy. That's an obvious one, okay? But your feminine energy is your superpower. And if you try to control everything, my love, like that energy is not your superpower anymore. Because it's like a very fierce energy. It's a very like ugh, noises. You know what I mean? So that's that. I'm just hanging out today, to be honest, and you get to be here if you want. Okay, I'm gonna try to do the swing, and if it works out, it works out, and if it doesn't, it doesn't, and that's it. That's it. It didn't turn out perfect, but you know what? A lot of things don't in life, and we move. So, gotta get on with it. And other than that, I wonder like what is it that you can do in terms of self-care over the next like 7 days or 8 days? I think small challenges can really help with these types of things. Why? Because the more you get used to self-care and prioritizing yourself, the better. It will become a routine, a habit, part of your life. And I swear to God, once you start, you don't stop. You're just like, bam, I am prioritizing myself. And that means you magnetize people who prioritize you, my love. And I've seen, like, even in my own life, I swear to God, the difference was huge. I've always had great friends. I'm not going to lie. I've had amazing, amazing friendships. But not when I was like very young in primary school. I was just like not vibing. I totally didn't see my worth. Like I was a very insecure child, bless my little soul. I would love to give her a little hug if I was there, like if I ever met my inner child, you know? So like when you start doing this self-prioritization work, okay, that's when you start to see a shift. Why? Because when you work on your inner world, you see a massive shift on your outside world. And you really do. And this is not a joke. Like, this is not just calling the bullshit here. Like, no, no, no. It works quite fast, in fact. And I think that's because it all comes back to your self-concept. Everybody talks about self-love and self-worth, but what the fuck does that even mean? I think it actually comes down to the way you perceive yourself. Self-concept is important for that. Like, if you were to describe yourself, if you were to see yourself from like far away, and just imagine that for a second, right? See yourself from a different light and say like, okay, who is Patri? Like, what energy does she give off? Do I think she's beautiful? Do I think she's like she's magnetic? Do I think she's attractive, charismatic, all of this? Yeah. So ask yourself this like about yourself. And if the answers are no, then you need to do some more inner work, and that's okay. That is absolutely fine. Like you can do self-concept meditations, okay? You can do self-concept affirmations. And it's all good and well, by the way, if you do it for like a week and you're like, okay, I like myself now. No, 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 no. This is your way of life. It's not just about listening to affirmations for a few days. And it's not just about listening to whether you're listening to subliminals and all of this shenanigans. It is not about that. It is about being consistent with how you embody that presence, how you actually walk it, not just talk it. Because a lot of people talk shit, okay? I see a lot of mentors, not to judge, okay? Not to judge. I don't care what everybody does with their lives, but they speak a lot about this stuff. They do not embody it. They do not. And this is really important. You got to embody it, okay? I'm not saying it for them. I don't care what anyone does. I'm saying it for you because you might be listening to certain people and they're not embodying it and it shows. And I'm like, if you're going to start doing this shit, actually live it, breathe it, eat it, let it be your absolute self-care vibe because it's all good and well, as I said, as I always say, to go get your hair and nails done, to get whatever it is that you want done. I don't know. You could be getting done, like, I don't know. You could be getting your ears done for all I care. But that makes zero sense, by the way. I don't know. I wanted to come up with the most ridiculous thing. But, but if you can't have all of that stuff done, and you spend all of like you invest in yourself like all of this, but you're not working on your mindset, we have an issue and I have questions for you, my love. I do. Because I've done all that. I've done all that like it and it's not it doesn't go hand in hand. Like you cannot just have a physical glow up after a breakup, just like so many of you do. And I've been there and I've done it and I know and I understand it. You cannot just have your physical glow up and invest in yourself and then just like leave your mindset to like be wasted and just like still think the same way because that's not going to change the type of person you attract. That's not going to change the way that you treat yourself and the way that you perceive yourself because I did all of the physical glow up. I lost all the weight and then ended up having anorexia. You know where that got me? Absolutely nowhere. Eventually it did because I had a breakthrough, thank God, and I actually realized, oh, it's not actually all about the physical, is it? It's about what's inside. It's about what I believe about myself, how much I hate myself, and how I stop that. So if you're gonna actually stop that and do something about it, and stop insulting yourself, judging yourself when you look in the mirror, like disrespecting yourself and crossing your own boundaries and allowing others to cross your own boundaries, then we can talk. We can have a chat. When you actually do something about it and take care of yourself, we can chat. No, we can chat before that as well. I'm totally joking, but I like to be dramatic sometimes. Okay. So that is it. It just comes down to what is your self-concept? How do you perceive yourself? How do you choose to put yourself first and not question only like how do what this person is treating me like this? Okay, how are you treating yourself? How about we focus on that? Okay? Stop blaming others and see how you treat yourself. Choose to stop hanging out with that person and only accept the best. Only accept the best, the kindness, the genuine vibes, the caring, nourishing energy. That is what you deserve, not the opposite. Get the picture. Stop hanging out with people who don't. That would be a start. This smells so good. I don't like to show the things that I use, but I swear to God, like this has always been my vibe. Anyway, distraction. So good. It's like jasmine or something. Anyway, that is it for today. Because I could talk for the whole of Ireland, the whole of Spain, both of my countries, and others too. But I'm not going to do that because your girly can just go on. Anyway, I think I'm ready now. I don't know. I always say I'm going to do my hair and then I don't finish it. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I hope you have a beautiful day, a beautiful week, a beautiful month, and how gorgeous. Like how gorgeous. I really like pink roses. Yeah. And they kind of go with like this vibe as well. Okay. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful week. Have a beautiful month. Have a beautiful year. But just as long as you prioritize yourself and choose to love and nourish yourself, okay? That is like, that's where it all starts. Because when you do that, you come from a space of overflow and you can be nicer to others, you can be kinder, you can show up more joyful, more juicy, your energy is contagious, and you're vibing. Okay? That's how you become magnetic. So that's that.